Bartow, Florida, has a rich history spanning over 150 years, rooted in its location near the headwaters of the Peace River in central Florida. The area's human story begins much earlier, with evidence of Paleo-Indians inhabiting the region around 12,000 years ago, following big game like woolly mammoths during a cooler, drier climate. As sea levels rose after the last ice age, these early hunters gave way to more permanent Native American settlements. By the time Spanish explorers arrived in the 16th century, an estimated 250,000 Native Americans lived across the Florida peninsula, including tribes that would coalesce into the Seminole people. A Spanish map from 1527 marks a native settlement called Rio de la Paz, near present-day Bartow, though little is known about these early inhabitants, who likely suffered high mortality from European diseases like smallpox. The modern history of Bartow begins in 1851, when the Reading Blunt family established a stockade community known as Fort Blunt, named after Reading Blunt, to protect against potential Seminole attacks amid tensions following the Indian Removal Act of 1830 in the Seminole Wars. This frontier outpost was situated in a region then considered remote and challenging due to heat, humidity, and uncharted swampland. The settlement's growth was slow until after the Civil War, when, in 1867, Polk County Commissioners renamed it Bartow in honor of Francis S. Bartow, the first Confederate brigade commander to die in combat during the war. Polk County itself had been established in 1861, with Bartow designated as its county seat. The late 19th century marked significant development. In 1882, Bartow was incorporated as a town, becoming a city in 1893. The arrival of the railroad spurred growth, and by 1900, Bartow was the largest city in Polk County, though it was soon surpassed by Lakeland, by 1910, and later Winter Haven, by the 1950s. In 1887, Jacob Summerlin, a cattle baron known as the King of the Crackers, donated land for the county seat and funded the Summerlin Institute, the first brick schoolhouse south of Jacksonville, now part of Bartow High School, the county's oldest high school. The phosphate industry also took root in the early 20th century, transforming Bartow into a hub for mining, alongside agriculture, citrus and cattle, and government, which remain economic pillars today. Architecturally and culturally, Bartow retained its southern charm, earning the nickname, City of Oaks and Azaleas, for its tree-lined streets and vibrant blooms. The old Polk County Courthouse, built in 1909 in a neoclassical style, stands as a symbol of the city and now houses the Polk County History Center. Three historic districts, Bartow Downtown Commercial, Northeast Bartow Residential, and South Bartow Residential, are listed on the National Register of Historic Places, showcasing styles like Victorian, Mission Revival, and Classical Revival. The L.B. Brown House, built in 1892 by Lawrence Bernard Brown, a freed slave turned successful businessman, is a notable landmark, possibly the only Florida home still standing built by a freedman. The 20th century saw steady but slower growth compared to Florida's broader population boom. Phosphate mining peaked and then shifted south in the late 1990s, leaving vast tracts of land available. In 1999, financier Stanford Phelps acquired 18,000 acres of former phosphate land from Clear Springs Land Company, launching the largest development project in Polk County history. Approved in 2009 after delays, the Clear Springs development envisions over 11,000 homes, commercial space, schools, and a golf course, projecting Bartow's population to exceed 25,000 by 2025, a milestone likely met, as today is February 22, 2025, and 45,000 by 2030. The 2020 census recorded 19,309 residents, reflecting a 5.4% increase from 2010. Bartow has produced notable figures, including Spessard L. Holland, a former Florida governor and U.S. Senator who authored the 24th Amendment banning poll taxes, and General James A. Van Fleet, a Korean War commander. Events like the Bloomin' Arts Festival and historic sites like the L.B. Brown House Museum keep its heritage alive. Today, Bartow balances its small-town roots with growth, lying 39 miles east of Tampa and 50 miles southwest of Orlando, near attractions like Legoland and Bok Tower Gardens, yet retaining a distinct identity amid Central Florida's rapid expansion.